It is footballscoop.com. Scott, welcome to Tuscaloosa. I hope all is well.
Hey, happy about, guys. Thanks.
Absolutely. Well, you got our attention. You've put together a prediction and sort of lay it out for us as far as your prediction with Nick Saban.
Well, so, footballscoop.com, been around 15 years. We follow the coaching industry. Most of our day is spent talking to coaches, some agents, kind of people that we term in the profession. We said, let's throw out there each of our three writers. We're going to put out, a bold prediction for this year. Zach went with Brian Kelly. We'll finally make that move to the NFL that he's kind of dreamed of for a long time. But mine was about Nick Saban. It was all centered on what I've been hearing all summer, is that, the appearance from afar is that Alabama has the most passionate fan base, and that is absolutely wonderful. And Nick generally appreciates that. The feedback that I get, from infrequent conversations with Nick, but with conversations with a lot of people who are pretty close to him, is that sometimes that passion can spill over and can grind on him a little bit. He has a 10-win season, and the sky is falling.
Or 12-2 and SEC champs, and the sky's falling.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. If you don't win a national championship, oh my goodness, we got to get better. And I think that's, maybe just wearing on him a little bit. Behind all that, and after hearing from, 5-10 people, it's, Nick's getting frustrated. Nick's not a happy person. Nick's miserable. One person said to me, we went with prediction that next year Nick's going to be coaching somewhere else. And that's my belief. I don't think Nick's ready to be done coaching. But I think the dominoes could fall right where, an incredible opportunity is presented to him. And he says, let me take that chance. I don't think that the Alabama administration could do any more to make Nick happy, honestly. I think it's just the everyday wear and tear of having been there so long. And the fan base is so passionate, which, again, is not a bad thing. It's just I can understand the wear on him.
All right, so I go back, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard a couple of seconds ago you said I've spoken to Nick as far as the frustration. Is that something that he's voiced to you, that he is frustrated?
I haven't spoken to Nick personally that I can think of in the last 6 months. The last time I spoke to Nick, which was last summer, I heard some of that. But that was, literally 14 months ago. 15 months ago, perhaps. Trying to think exactly when it was. But it's more in talking with guys that, he works with and guys that he confides in. You hear it. You hear it a lot, actually.
Well, you guys, obviously, you're contacted with a lot of coaches, and you get information through that way, that fraternity. And some people may or may not understand this, but that fraternity does talk. They many times they give nuggets. Is that fair to say that a lot of that information comes from assistant coaches across the country in college football?
Nationwide, absolutely. And I don't think anybody should read into it that I'm getting that from staff members at Alabama. It's guys who talk to Nick and guys who talk to, people who are real close to Nick. And yeah, it's absolutely nationwide. These guys, their average stay is 2 or 3 years. They move around, 4 or 5 times. They know somebody everywhere. They go on vacation. They see somebody they know or have worked with. And they just talk about things. And of course, Nick has been the most successful head coach, in college football, say in the last decade. So, everybody talks about Nick. How's he doing? What do you think? How's it going to work out? And people are always talking about succession planning and, who's the next guy up and things like that. So, yeah, absolutely.
Any chance that could be wishful thinking just from – if I was competing against Daly in recruiting or in a game, I'd want Nick Saban to leave too, wouldn't you?
Personally, I think Alabama football is at the top. Obviously Ohio State won it last year, but you think of a dominant program, you think of Alabama football. So regardless of whether Nick Saban were there next year or the next year or the next year, I don't think Alabama misses the beat. Whoever they hire is going to be absolutely one of the best anyway. And they built such a tremendous foundation that I'm not sure that, the guy at the very top matters. You know what I'm saying? Alabama football is always going to be Alabama football as far as I'm concerned.
Well, but I guess what I'm saying is I'm looking at competitors. If you and I were competing and I had a website, I'd want you to retire because, obviously you guys do a solid job with getting information. I'm just saying when you talk to competitors that go up against Nick Saban, because Nick Saban's a workaholic. I mean, Gus Malzahn puts in more hours because Nick Saban's across the state. And I'm just asking, not trying to give up who told you this or whatever, but is it some of Nick Saban's competitors that maybe just wishful thinking that Nick Saban moves on to another job? Could it be?
No, I wouldn't say it's a source from any sort of competitors. As a matter of fact, I can tell you definitively none of it came from anybody in the SEC. So no, I don't think that's the case. I think it's more from guys that are real close to Nick in life. People Nick confides in.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying.
I would say that's friends of Nick, honestly.
Okay, so is it people that he's worked with, or I mean, has been on his staff? Because I know there's been a lot of scuttle that I've heard from some guys who had left that were probably unhappy with some of their situations and some of the darts they threw up against the wall. Has been unique, and I know you said 5 or 10 guys, but I know there's a few that they're very disgruntled when things don't work out in Tuscaloosa.
No, I wouldn't think it's anything like that. I mean, the guys that I'm hearing from are highly respected, generally kind of top of their game. This would not be a disgruntled employee type situation or anything like that.
Okay, let me ask you: when the frustration, is it more than the pressure cooker? Is it more than? Because I understand the rules, and I know you do too as well, because you cover football. But as far as, is he frustrated with the fan base at Alabama, or is it rules, or? I'm just trying to pick your brain with frustration, because you said you've had conversations with Nick. I mean, is it fans only, or is it maybe the college football in general of where the direction of the sport's going?
Yeah, I don't know that it's that. I mean, I think, as far as the general direction of the sport or college football in general, I think everybody has to play within those confines, and they work on, rule changes they want to see. I don't think there's massive frustration with that. And again, I think Nick would say it extremely positively. I think you've heard him say it 100 times, if not 1,000 times. Alabama has the best fans in football. And I don't think he would back down from that statement one bit. The best fans in college football can become overzealous, to a certain degree. And, like we said, you win 12, and why didn't you win 14? Kick 6 happens, and, it's a disaster. When in reality it was a great season, from afar. So, I think it's more that than anything else.
As we finish up our conversation, sort of wrapping up the loose ends here, Scott Roussel, footballscoop.com. But as far as a bold prediction, just by judging by what you've told us, maybe it's not as bold as, from your perspective, as it seems out there. I mean, you're sort of very confident that this is going to happen.
Well, I'm not. I mean, who knows what's going to happen a year from now? I'm very confident sourcing that Nick's frustrated. Some people feel like Nick would be willing to move if there was a great opportunity placed in front of him. But just like I'm highly confident that Texas, had overtures and would, if Nick were willing, Texas were willing, it was one of those dances. But none of us know if he's going to sign that contract, if you know what I'm saying, until it's really presented. Everybody understands all the facts, and two people agree. Who knows if he actually pulls the trigger on that or not? I mean, he's under contract. Obviously there's no buyout, so that's not an obstacle in this case. But none of us can predict if someone is going to offer him, something that he says, wow, this is a chance that I can't pass up. So that's what we try to say is, the frustration level is there. Could it be in his mind? Perhaps. Will someone actually put the right offer in front of him? None of us know that.